In today's video, we delve into a heartbreaking case that shines a light on the dangerous escalation of domestic violence. This is a story of a relationship marred by a violent history, where a courageous woman made the brave decision to leave her abuser, only for her escape to culminate in a tragic and unimaginable outcome. Join us as we explore the harrowing details of this case, highlighting the complexities and dangers faced by individuals attempting to break free from abusive relationships. It serves as a reminder of the urgent need for awareness, support, and action to combat domestic violence and protect those most vulnerable in our society. Karon McVay and Tomecca Pickett had a turbulent relationship, and he lived on and off with her at 4009 Butts Road in Tomecca, Mississippi. In 2014, Tomecca contacted the police and reported that Karon had allegedly hit her in the face, bitten her nipple causing visible marks, and choked her by pressing his elbow into her chest. As a result, he was charged with domestic abuse. On February 20, 2017, Karon visited his girlfriend Tomecca at her workplace, Rush Hospital in Meridian, Mississippi, where she was having lunch with her brother, Durr. The day before, Tomecca expressed that she wanted to end their relationship through a text message. Karon was not happy, and he confronted her in the hospital cafeteria, where they both got into a heated altercation. During the argument, Karon made threatening remarks towards Tomecca, stating she will never disrespect him again, and that he would put her jaw on the other side of her lip if she did. Demetrius accompanied Tomecca to hospital security to prevent Karon from harassing and stalking her at work, and Karon was then escorted out of the hospital by security. Justin Boykin was in charge of security at Rush Hospital. According to Boykin, Tomecca was crying and very upset and wanted separation from Karon. Boykin informed Tomecca which police department could help her since she appeared visibly scared of Karon. About 30 minutes later, Boykin received a call from Karon, who initially used a different name but then admitted to the altercation, calling it a misunderstanding. Karon asked to speak with Tomecca, but Boykin refused, as he was concerned about her safety. Boykin then informed him that he was banned from the hospital unless he was seeking medical treatment. Later that evening at around 8:30 p.m., Tomecca spoke with Angela Shelby, who was a medical secretary at Rush Hospital. Tomecca thanked her for some children's books she had given her. Tomecca then tried to get her son Owen to come to the phone, but their conversation was cut off. Angela attempted to reach Tomecca again later that evening but received no response. Later that night, Demetrius spoke to his mother Edna Durr about a wrestling show while it was on, which then ended at 10 p.m. The next day on February 21, 2017, deputies from the Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department carried out a welfare check at 4009 Butts Road in Tomecca, Mississippi. Upon arrival, Officer Trey Fox discovered the bodies of Edna Durr, her daughters Tomecca Pickett and Kiearra Durr, and her grandson, Owen Pickett. Unfortunately, they were all deceased. The police also found a 3-year-old toddler which they gave the alias BD. BD was miraculously found alive, trapped beneath her mother Kiearra's body. Edna's body was found on the living room floor next to a 9mm bullet and a spent projectile. Kiearra's body was discovered on the couch with her knees on the floor and face down, while Tomecca's body was in the hallway, and Owen's body was positioned between the hallway and the bathroom doorway. Emergency services were called, and BD was rescued from the scene. BD was a toddler who had difficulties with speaking and hearing. After Demetrius Durr learns that his family has been murdered, he calls Karon. Karon lies, claiming he is out of town for a construction project, but he is actually at Meridian City Hall for a job interview. Subsequently, he rushed to the crime scene upon learning about the murders. Evidence shows that Karon was present at the crime scene before Demetrius even arrived. Deputy Kerry Williams asks Karon and Tivo Durr, Tomecca's other brother, to give statements at the sheriff's department. Karon, who initially was not a suspect, becomes one after his suspicious responses. Autopsies conducted on the victims revealed the cause of death for each. Edna Durr, aged 65, succumbed to multiple gunshot wounds across her back, chest, abdomen, and arms. Tomecca Pickett, aged 42, suffered fatal gunshot wounds to her head, arm, and right breast. Kiearra Durr, aged 27, died from gunshot wounds and 3 sharp force injuries to her neck. 1 gunshot wound entered her upper left shoulder, 1 entered her left chest, 1 entered her abdomen, and 1 entered her right chest. Owen Pickett, aged 5, tragically passed away due to 4 stab and slash wounds to the neck, causing him to drown in his own blood. Karon went to the police station and wrote a handwritten statement. In this statement, Karon confessed to instances of argument and physical threats towards Tomecca, visiting her residence twice on the day of the crime, and admitting to touching Owen's head multiple times without prompting. Karon is given his Miranda warnings and allows police to search his phone. Text messages show Tomecca had indicated she was, quote, done with it, unquote, the day before. Karon sent her threatening texts and called her numerous times, which he later defended as normal behavior due to their relationship. Karon replied, "That's my girlfriend. I can call her 143 times." Karon admitted to calling her frequently over the weekend because she was upset and she kept hanging up on him. He alleged that Tomecca was angry because he was supposed to get her a ring but didn't, and also because her desk at Rush Hospital was previously used by a girl Karon used to date. Although he acknowledged that there were heated arguments with Tomecca, Karon denied any history of physical altercations. During the interview, Officer Williams learns that Karon resides at 4009 Butts Road and has a felony conviction. Karon admits to having a gun at the crime scene, specifically a .243 rifle, which was later recovered by another officer and entered into evidence. Consequently, Karon was arrested for possession of a firearm by a felon, but continued to deny involvement in the murders. While being walked to jail, Karon asks investigator Everett McShepard about the potential sentence for the 4 murders and indicates he wants to tell the truth. He was taken back to the interview room where he has read his Miranda rights a second time, and he then confesses to the murders. Karon claims that on the day of the murders, he entered the room and gave Tomecca a gift. He touched her hair and complimented it. He claims that she told him not to touch her hair, but he did it again, and she slapped him. He pushed her back against the dresser, and he claims that she reached for scissors, saying, "This is the last time you ever put your hands on me." He claims that he walked into the hallway, and she followed him, pushing him and calling him a no-good sorry motherfucker, saying she was tired of this. He then turned and fired 2 shots at her. Owen came out, and Karon claims that he shot him. Edna asked what was happening, and he then shot her twice. When Kiearra moved on the couch, he shot her twice as well. He then fired 2 more shots at Tomecca. Karon claims that Owen was behind her and moved the door, causing him to shoot in that direction. He fired at Edna again. Karon was standing in the living room by the kitchen, using a 9mm pistol. Karon told Officer Williams he gave the gun he used to someone named Mon. Based on his confession, the detective typed up a statement, which Karon signed and fingerprinted. Officer Williams located Mon, who then directed him to the spot where the firearm was. A 9mm pistol, with no ammunition, was recovered by Officer Williams. It is significant to highlight that scissors were discovered in a different area of the crime scene following Karon's confession. Specifically, they were found on the bathroom floor adjacent to the hallway where Tomecca's body was discovered. While Karon did not confess to cutting Owen's throat, he did acknowledge firing the gun towards Owen. Starks Hathcock, a firearms expert, confirms that projectiles recovered from the bodies of the victims were fired from the 9mm pistol Karon admitted using. Additionally, Hathcock concluded that the 11 spent casings found at the quadruple homicide scene originated from the 9mm pistol obtained by the police from Mon. During the trial, Demetrius Durr shared that Karon was aware of BD's health challenges. Demetrius explained that Tomecca and Karon's relationship had ups and downs, and that Karon concealed the abuse he inflicted on Tomecca. Karon did not object to Demetrius's answer about abuse and asked no questions on cross-examination. During the trial, Karon asserted his innocence in the killings of the family, although he had previously confessed to the police that he had taken their lives. He also defends himself by talking about his military background as an airborne ranger and a Special Forces weapons specialist. His words were the following: "I looked at those stab marks and those cut marks that's around my son's neck. That shit wasn't right. I looked at the cut marks and the jugular marks around Kiearra's neck. That shit wasn't right. Now, I was an airborne ranger, Special Forces, a weapons specialist. There ain't no way in hell that somebody of my degree, my caliber. I don't know if any of y'all know about Rangers or SF. I don't know, do you know anything about that? I also do Taekwondo, so I know pressure points. that don't look and did not look like somebody that have the training that I have and did no crap like that. The state confronted Karon with his typed confession where he admitted to the murders. Karon claimed the confession was false, except for admitting he went to the house to give Tomecca a gift after their argument at the hospital. Karon also claims that he made several threats of physical harm towards Tomecca, such as moving her jaw, kicking her, and kicking her tail until her nose bleeds, but he never actually resorted to physical violence. Karon was found guilty of 4 counts of capital murder and 1 count of possession of a firearm by a felon. He was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole for each capital murder conviction. Additionally, he received a 10-year sentence for possession of a firearm, with both sentences to be served consecutively. This story underscores the grim reality faced by many individuals trapped in abusive relationships and highlights the critical need for vigilance, support, and action to protect the vulnerable. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, remember there are resources and support systems available to help. Reach out to local authorities, shelters, or hotlines dedicated to assisting victims of abuse. Thank you for watching.